Trenton Thompson was the #1 ranked recruit in the 2015 recruiting class and was expected to be a star in college. Instead, things would not go Thompson's way, and although he would be signed by the Cleveland Browns, he would be waived before the preseason would start. But who is Trenton Thompson? In the Who Is series, we go through the backstories of up-and-coming collegiate and pro athletes. You may be sitting at home saying, well, Trenton Thompson is not an up-and-coming collegiate athlete, and you are right. As cheesy as it sounds, we are starting Flashback Friday, where we will be going back and looking at different backstories of players from the quote-unquote past, and Thompson is kicking everything off. Who do you want to see in future episodes? Let me know in the comment section below. Trenton Charles Thompson was born on July 27, 1996, and grew up in Albany, Georgia. Thompson attended Westover Comprehensive High School, where he was coached by former NFL defensive lineman Jeff Hunter. As a sophomore, Thompson recorded 65 tackles, 12 tackles for a loss, 5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and an interception. Thompson's high school coach recalled a play when Thompson was a sophomore, saying he was playing defensive end and he crashed down inside right as the quarterback was handing the ball off. Trent ran through the fullback and then he tackled the running back and the quarterback at the same time. At that moment, we knew he had something special. Thompson improved those numbers as a junior when he recorded 83 tackles, 38 tackles for a loss, and 12 sacks. He helped Westover make it to the third round of the GSA 4A playoffs and earn its first regional title in school history. He was also named as the Junior of the Year by Rivals and was viewed as one of the top recruits in the country. Thompson recalls the recruiting process picking up during his junior year, where he was invited to camps and a lot of coaches came to visit him. But going into his senior year, things only got crazier. As a senior, Thompson recorded 84 tackles, 36 tackles for a loss, 4 sacks, 1 forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and an interception. He was named the Class 4A Defensive Player of the Year by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, as well as being named the National Defensive Player of the Year by USA Today. Throughout high school, Thompson created destruction. One Bleacher Report article wrote, "While you gasp out of pure sympathy for the young men playing the role of traffic cones, there's a beauty in the destruction. It's football art." Coming out of high school, Trenton Thompson was the best player in the country and everybody wanted him. He received over 20 different Division I offers from the likes of Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Missouri, and Clemson, among others. One simple fun story I came across when I was researching this video is the fact that different head coaches signed to football for Thompson High School's coach Octavia Jones just to get a small edge over others in the competition for Thompson's talent. To put it in perspective how many schools were recruiting Thompson, there were 4 garbage bags filled to the brink outside Thompson's house. Inside the bags were handwritten letters, brochures, and mailers from different schools reaching out to Thompson throughout the years. There were so many, Thompson had to throw out a good portion because they were taking up so much space. Thompson never flaunted his recruitment. He was focused and cared about people. Jones told Bleacher Report, "One of the things about Trent is he's a people pleaser. He likes to make people happy, and when you have that many people recruiting you, you're going to have to tell a lot of people no. There's only one person you're going to be able to tell yes. I think that was one of the hardest parts he had to go through." His coach went on to say that Thompson never let it go to his head. Jones spoke on Thompson saying his first step is unreal for someone his size. He gets off the ball so quickly. He can bull rush type players, but he has the speed to finesse you as well. He's the best of both worlds. That quote from Jones matched Thompson's scouting report, which rated Thompson's first step and explosiveness as 10s, motor, hand quickness, point of attack, and strength at 9s, athleticism at 8, and size at 7. J.C. Shortbert from 24/7 Sports wrote, "He's lightning quick off the ball, both with his feet and his hands. 2 things you look for in an elite prospect at his position. He also has high drive, meaning he loves football. He steps on the field with something to prove each and every snap." Thompson first received his offer from the University of Georgia as a sophomore, and later other big schools followed. Thompson committed to the Bulldogs on August 12, 2014, with his high school coach saying, "From day one, I think he knew where he wanted to go. His first trip to Georgia was very comfortable. He grew up being a Georgia fan, and he has pride in his state." Thompson had hoped committing early would reduce the amount of calls he was receiving, but it did not. Thompson told the Bleacher Report back on January 29, 2015, It's not an easy message to get across. They were still coming after me, but I told a lot of them to stop because I wasn't interested. Thompson never wavered either, signing with the Bulldogs. Going to his freshman year at Georgia, Thompson was projected to be a game changer and a double-team necessity. During his freshman year, he played sparingly in his first 4 games. He recorded 7 total tackles and half a sack. His first career start came in a loss to Alabama, where he recorded 4 tackles. He finished his freshman year with 25 tackles, 2.5 tackles for a loss and half a sack. Towards the end of the season, he dealt with multiple nagging injuries, including 2 bad ankles that took a toll on his season. After the season, Pro Football Focus named him the best true freshman interior defensive lineman in the nation. Going to his sophomore year, Thompson appeared healthy and appeared in all 13 of Georgia's games, making 7 starts. He led the interior defensive lineman with 56 tackles, 9 tackles for a loss, and 5 sacks. He finished the season recording 3 sacks against TCU in the Liberty Bowl, which led to him being named the game MVP. After a strong sophomore season, many expected Thompson to have a strong junior season. Unfortunately, the injury bug returned as Thompson had off-season surgery to repair a torn labrum in his shoulder. In February of 2017, Thompson was rushed to the hospital after being stopped by University police as he was disoriented. According to the Chattanooga Times Free Press, Thompson was discovered walking late at night in downtown Athens, and when questioned by police, he told them he was a football player but could not recall what position he played. They found Trenton had an adverse reaction to medication taken for an undisclosed medical condition. He would then withdraw from the spring semester before returning to the university and team. During Thompson's junior season, he suffered 2 sprained MCL ligaments injuries, which caused him to miss 2 games. He finished the season recording 38 tackles and 3.5 tackles for a loss. Trenton Thompson would then declare for the NFL draft, which surprised most. At the time, you could see why though. 2 of his 3 years, he dealt with injuries, and according to Dog Nation, he was projected to be picked between rounds 2 and 5. Yes, had he returned for his senior year, he could have had a breakout season and improved his draft stock, but had he gotten hurt again, things might have been much worse for him. Unfortunately, the worst case scenario occurred as Thompson went undrafted, becoming the first #1 overall prospect not to be drafted. Due to NCAA rules, Thompson was not allowed to return to Athens, which is a BS rule if you ask me, for an organization that claims they want the best for their athletes. During that year, according to UGA Wire, 106 underclassmen entered the 2018 draft, and 33% of them went undrafted. Thompson signed with the Cleveland Browns as an undrafted free agent, but was later waived before the preseason. Then he signed with the Arizona Hotshots of the AAF for its inaugural season. In the first game, Thompson recorded 4 tackles and a 38-22 win. Then the AAF would collapse due to financial problems, and Thompson signed with the Washington Valor of the Arena Football League. In June of 2019, Thompson signed with the Edmonton Eskimos of the Canadian Football League, but was later released. In October of 2019, Thompson was drafted by the Houston Roughnecks of the XFL, being the 6th defensive lineman taken in the draft. He would be waived by the Roughnecks in the final weeks of cuts on January 22nd and join the XFL's Team 9 on January 30th, the XFL's practice squad. Unfortunately, the XFL would shut down due to COVID-19, and his contract was terminated on April 10th, 2020. 10 days later, Thompson signed with the Saskatchewan Roughriders of the CFL. The 2020 CFL season was canceled due to COVID-19 as well, and Thompson opted out of his contract on August 31st, 2020. He would then opt back into his contract on January 14th, 2021. The CFL looks to kick off their season on August 5th, as of now, and Thompson is still on the roster wearing the number 77. Thompson is only 24 years old, and I hope he's able to find success, as from my research he seems to be a level-headed, respectful person who has just had some bad luck. But what do you think? Will Thompson be able to find his way onto an NFL roster in the future? Thank you so much for watching. Let me know who you want to see in future Flashback Friday videos. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.